A consolation goal in a game that felt like a consolation, when all I wanted was consolation when they took their 3 points back to Cornwall. Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
I feel like... I don't know. I feel like I've been left at the altar and everything that... my friends can take me for a fry-up afterwards, but it's just not enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel nothing.
Oh.
Absolutely just blank.
All right, Jean-Paul Sartre.
Yeah. With regard to Exeter City, anyway, and most things.
You feel nothing?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
I feel mild disappointment in the fact that we've lost 4 games in a row. But not like we didn't predict it. And not, don't just mean us, I mean everyone. You just looked at the schedule.
Yeah.
And you thought, well, this will happen, and then this will happen, and then this will happen, and then that's exactly what did happen.
That is exactly what did happen. I felt like... So anyway, listeners, if you've been on a different planet, City played Plymouth Argyle on Saturday, lost 1-0. Played Derby County last night, lost 2-1.
Yep.
Which, yeah, you're right, takes us to a run of 4 games, 4 defeats.
It does, yeah. In, like I said, the April of death.
It's an even less pretty picture than Ryan Bowman blowing you a kiss.
Oh, I'd forgotten about him. No, I've remembered that sight.
Yeah, it was just... In a sense, there were really good bits about both performances. Like, Argyle, first half, we were all over them in terms of possession. We looked lively, but we didn't look like we were ever going to score.
No, we didn't.
I think we had 1 shot in the whole game.
That was with a vaguely, reasonably strong side, you'd say.
Stansfield back, as we all hoped for.
Stano in from the start, Nombe starting. We were missing Kevin McDonald. Dimitri Mitchell also started.
Hardly got the ball at all in that first half, bizarrely.
He didn't, no. It seemed to mostly go down the right-hand side. I mean, a point of note... We were shooting towards the big bank in the first half,
which is about the worst thing that can happen in a person's life.
It's just upsets everything a bit, doesn't it?
Upset me.
I was thinking it probably makes no difference to the players, but maybe it does. I think it probably does. You can see some evidence of that last night, which we'll come on to. But sort of reasonably strong side. However, the way we play, I suppose we have to. I'm having to recalibrate my expectations a bit around, because you'll see a match like that and you think, oh, this is rubbish, and that's your emotional kind of response is, oh, that was rubbish. Like, we were crap, they were crap, game was crap. But we weren't. And then you listen to Colwell afterwards, and he's like, we played really well. We played really well in that. And then that's what I mean by you have to recalibrate. It's like, oh, okay, so his idea of playing well is not necessarily creating loads and loads of chances. That's not because that's not the way he wants to play. He wants to control games. And in that sense, we did play well.
My inclination about Colwell, based on absolutely nothing except those kind of statements and what I've watched, I reckon he talks up to the players' percentage chance of scoring. As in, it's better to keep the ball than it is to throw away the ball on I've got a 20% chance of scoring here.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably the case, yeah.
And, yes, I understand that. But also, the shot itself might not result in a goal, but you don't know what
Well, exactly.
I hate to be that person, but the mixer is generally where the goals happen.
Yeah.
Particularly in League One, particularly with the kind of player Nombe is, kind of player Jay Stansfield is actually.
Well, it just means playing that way, you got to be very clinical.
Yeah.
And partly due to circumstances beyond his control, we're not really capable of being that clinical at the minute.
No.
And I do think that it's unfair to judge his system based on pretty much anything from January onwards.
Agreed.
It's personnel. And even on Saturday, against Plymouth, again, it's personnel. McDonald is so important to that style of play, and you saw the same thing on Tuesday night when McDonald also didn't play. It's so important to have somebody who can come and get the ball in the middle at all times.
And
McDonald
carve the space and the time.
Yeah. McDonald is really the only person who's even like remotely capable of doing that.
Well, Collins is funny, isn't he? 'Cause sometimes you're like, you do something magical.
I think he's having quite a lot asked of him, Collins, because he seems to be like, under Matt Taylor, he seems to be moving further forward. Now are we asking him to move further back? Like, what is he? Is he a 4? Is he an 8? Is he a 10? Which is he? Which is he supposed to be? And I think he's probably learning a lot from Kevin McDonald, and maybe he might be really good at that. I don't think he's quite got the kind of like courage or touch or
speed of movement,
speed of thought, like the positional awareness, how to find space, just like naturally. I think he's got a bit of it, but I don't know if he's like naturally that guy. I think if we don't have Kevin McDonald next season, which we might, we don't know, we probably need someone else in that mould.
I feel like with Keggs, Kite, Collins, others, they don't let the ball do any work for them. They do like the ball's at their toe the whole time, and their first instinct always is touch. I'll take this touch, then I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Now, of course, as soon as you've taken a touch, you're pointing in a certain direction with your weight in a certain way. There was a couple of examples Saturday where Kite had the ball played through to him nicely, and instead of taking the touch, if he'd let it go and run in the direction that the ball was travelling, the pitch was open to him. And instead, their reaction, which I'm sure they've been taught for a really long time, is I'll get the touch, I'll get the control, then I see what happens.
Yeah.
McDonald,
I think it's a new system to them. I think their inclination is to do the safe thing, which more often than not is just go back to Aimson, go back to Hartridge, sideways moving. And again, I think it's personnel, because I don't think any of those three, Kite, Keggs, Collins, have got like a kind of a natural kind of like ability to kind of spot a pass, like going forward. If to break the defensive line, I don't think they've got that either. So they're neither the players to pick up the ball from the defence or be that option, or then and they're also not the sort of players who can kind of like unlock a defence with a pass through to their forwards.
Yeah. Obviously, that's the Giovanni Brown role. We know full well why that's not there. No one can be blamed. One person can be blamed for that.
Yeah.
But
well, Caldwell's talking about it quite a lot now. He's
Yeah.
mentioning Giovanni a lot.
Yeah.
He said in his post-match after the Derby game last night that mentioned him by name, that's kind of like a significant, and it is so big, and it's really kind of like, what can you do? Because that was after the transfer window. I know you could say the same if he'd suffered a
ligament damage.
Yeah. I mean, the reason behind it is kind of irrelevant, but the fact of the matter is, So
Yeah.
I think without those two players, our system can't possibly function as well as it probably could.
Now, Argyle did a bit of a number on us. They worked out, like, I realised they only won by one goal, and I realised the goal was a big deflection, but they shifted what they were doing, as far as I could tell, and the second half was quite different.
I think they did it really well,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think they approached the game in exactly the right way. They were on a bad run of form. They knew that we're at home in front of our fans, and it's a derby game, so we would be very eager.
Yeah.
And that what they did was just shut us down, and sit and press us a bit and just not really try, and take the chance. And yeah, they got a bit of luck with it, but they took the chance when they got it and kept us out,
I want to also say that the referee, Darren Drysdale, was a waste of space.
Hard man, Drysdale, yeah.
I was optimistic about it because I've seen him a couple of times at City and he's been good. But he
Can't
obviously
really
had it in
remember.
his, well, maybe just better than bad.
Yeah.
But he cursed the game straight away with an instant yellow card for Keggs. And from then on, just everything, and this was City and Argyle, blown up. There was one chance City had in the second half, and they were away, bad tackle, but the ball landed. I'm not getting my names right, but I think maybe landed with Mitchell. He was away.
Oh, it's
brings
Nombe.
it back. It was
It's Nombe.
Nombe.
He was so. That one was really frustrating. I mean, some of it is just like, game management, I suppose, whatever you want to call it, and Argyle did it well. And like again, Colwell was talking about that, and like you can't necessarily expect the referees to improve, so you then have to adapt your game to do that. And it's like he talked about them being brave to go down while we were on the attack, and it did work. But that one with Nombe especially was so frustrating because there's absolutely no reason to not play an advantage. They didn't book the player, and even if you are going to book the player, do it afterwards. He was kind of away, and like we didn't have a huge amount of chances in the game, and yeah, he was rubbish. Drysdale, crap.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Agreed.
Good mind to square up to him.
Well, watch out, because he's known for having a quick
He
head.
would annihilate me in a fight.
He looked like a big fella. Anyway, it was 1-0. And then last night, Derby County. Again, a funny game. First half, I felt like, obviously, City's season's over, to all intents and purposes.
Yeah, that's true. I just want to make another point about Argyle.
Oh, yeah.
I found it amusing that they were the fans in the sold out, of course. The fans in the away end, obviously, the closest Exeter fans they are to is them down the far end,
Of
James
the
Road end of the Stansfield stand.
Yeah.
So they're really having a go at them. Like reaching over, looking over the corner,
Singing all their songs at them.
singing all the songs directly at them. But it's like that's little kids.
It's the brownies
It's
section.
like the brownies and like a few old boys and old girls.
Yeah.
What were they?
Yeah.
They
I
must
know.
have been able to see that's who it is. Most of the kids at that end spend the majority of their games shining their phone lights.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they were cross
and
about.
eating Haribo. Like it's not. I just found it funny. It's like we're too far away, I suppose, to have a go at, but we're not really.
Yeah, well, there you go. Would you expect? For
Colwell
morons.
talked about making the players watch the celebrations after the game with the Argyle fans and their players.
Really?
To go like, look at that. That could have been you,
He also...
Which I quite like because it was kind of a bit of like, I was jealous.
Yeah.
Like, as you always are, but especially in a situation like that, it's like, oh, that looks fun, doesn't it?
Well, of course, as we know, a draw for them would have been a bad result. So we were actually really close, in a sense, to being the ones celebrating. So that's the extra frustration.
Yeah.
He put together also, didn't he, a compilation of supporters saying how much the game meant to us.
We never got to see this. It wasn't released
No,
to
it wasn't
us.
released.
Did you
I didn't
chuck one in?
participate, no.
Why not? You're usually getting involved with that, aren't you? Cardboard cutout.
Of course, famously, I was once in an advert with my children for a season ticket.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Not a season ticket, just coming to the game.
Yeah, you were. All about that.
Yeah, a long time ago now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Scott didn't tap me up for the old we band of brothers, we precious few. Yeah, I could have done that. Talked about Gus Honeybun, talked about Natalie Corner.
Remember, this is going to the players who don't have any idea who these people are.
No, I would have given them a speech on, like, of course, Exeter's a real city. It's been here a really long time. Plymouth doesn't even have a cathedral. In fact, it's only existed for about 200 years, and before that was just Devonport. So they're pathetic, and we're not, and go and give them a good hiding. That's what my speech would have been.
Right, yeah, but you didn't do it, so...
Didn't do it, so that's for another time. Anywho, yeah, then Derby last night. And the first half, I was looking at the league, because Derby were, I don't know where they are now, but they were just outside the playoffs.
I think
needed
they're
the win.
seventh currently.
Still seventh. Yeah. Needed the win. And I was like, well, they're not playing like a team that got any inclination towards winning. It felt bizarre. But of course, they got some very good players.
It did feel a bit like that, actually, yeah. Just look at look at the names,
I mean, the names are remarkable. What do you think about it?
Eddie McGoldrick.
David.
And...
Mendes Lang and Curtis Davis.
Curtis Davis, yeah.
I mean, that's three recently Premier League players, good, established.
Yeah,
and
so
it showed.
When they were under a kind of... because Derby are in this mess because of kind of mismanagement, essentially.
That's right, yeah.
At the top.
The previous owner.
Yeah. So that resulted in Wayne Rooney leaving and then them not being able to sign any players, being deducted points. So then, when they were allowed to sort of do that again, they just got all these guys in for free on massive wages, right?
Believe so. I mean, fair enough. McGoldrick won that game for them.
Yes. And, well, he did, and Curtis Davies played his part as well
He
because we got absolutely no change out of him whatsoever.
So
So a bit different this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
As people expected, with the season all but over. We started with, and a few knocks, I think, from Saturday. I understand.
The wording was slight knocks, which I can believe. So Stano was hobbling at the end of Saturday, wasn't he?
So was Nombe had a bit of a limp on him as well. So no Nombe, no Stansfield, no Dimitri Mitchell in the starting lineup. That's the three.
The three who are left, because we also didn't have McDonald still.
And no McDonald. See, the three, but attacking wise.
Oh, yeah.
If you take Giovanni Brown out of the equation, which is actually would make it fourth, three of the kind of main attacking threats, key players for us,
Yeah.
They're not playing. So Caprice in at left wing back.
Yep.
Sonny Cox and James Scott.
Yep.
Sounding like a radio DJ duo.
Scott and Cox. Cox and Scott.
Well, they are, I suppose, aren't they? Scott Mills.
Oh, yeah.
And Sarah Cox. Does
yeah.
that work? Sort of. It could be, couldn't it? Gemini FM, James Scott and Sonny Cox.
Yeah.
Drive time.
Yeah. What's Gemini FM called these days? Heart.
Yeah, just become under the umbrella of Heart, which I think is national, isn't it?
Bring back Devonair.
Well, they have actually. I think
they brought back Devonair.
I think they've brought back Devonair. It's like probably. I think it's probably just internet only, but they are bringing it back. Yeah.
Devonair.
Yeah.
Pirate FM still exist?
Is that the Cornwall one?
It's the Cornwall one.
I think that's probably Heart as well. Yeah. Sad.
Globalisation.
Yeah. What was I saying?
You were going through the lineup. Much more important.
Yeah. Kegs. Well, a bit of a strange one really, because it looked like you got Kite, Kegs, Collins.
Yeah.
But then I don't think that was the middle. I think it was Josh Key in the middle and
Harry Kite at
right back.
Yeah.
Or right wing back. Very strange. The usual three at centre back. Yeah. So end of the season, kind of like.
First half was pretty slow going, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Josh Key had a good header saved. Blackman made a good save down in front of the big bank as well.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, not a huge amount to get too excited about. It was at the half time. It was like, well, at least we're not losing.
Yes.
Now, but Cox starting is
that's his first home league start.
Something like that.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then James Scott. I mean,
we're yet to see it, aren't we? I'm still optimistic.
I'm still a bit optimistic, although slightly less so after last night because he was
non-existent, really.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like I don't know what's up with him because the things you'd expect from a kind of player of his kind of like previous status are the things that seem to be abandoning him.
Yeah, so he was a £1 million player only a couple of seasons ago.
And you think, well, yeah, you could still probably, if that's the case, maybe he's not quite fit or whatever, but you kind of, he seems to have absolutely no touch whatsoever. I think he won one header in the entire time he's on the pitch. Most of the time he doesn't even jump for headers. Why we're pumping it long to him, not really sure. I don't really even know where he's supposed to play.
No.
He described himself as a winger when he arrived.
Tricky winger.
And then Sonny Cox, I think, looks. Yeah, the whole point of playing him is exactly this. It's just to get some experience of playing in League One. And last night, going up against Curtis Davies and getting absolutely nothing out of him is some great experience for him. It really is. It's about as good as and difficult as it's going to be at this level, and it will be about that difficult fairly often if he's going to play.
It's hard to know, isn't it?
That's what it's like, and it's good for him to see.
It's hard to know because, of course, like you said, if he was playing with Brown, Mitchell, Nombe...
Yeah, I mean, they obviously didn't get much service either. And because of the lack of McDonald, when we got bored of passing it around the centre-backs or closed down, we just hoofed it too much towards Sonny Cox or James Scott. And, of course, you send a high ball from the back towards the area in which Sonny Cox is, but also Curtis Davies is.
Yeah.
There's only going to be one outcome there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. So they went ahead, second half. I couldn't really tell if it was a fair free kick. It didn't seem to be.
It looked a bit soft to me, but it's not on the highlights I've seen, and so I don't know.
but it was laid off to McGoldrick, and he scored an absolute beauty.
You could see what was going to happen, couldn't you, when they were stood there together, you know?
Nothing anyone could do, pretty much.
No.
So that was 52 minutes. Then
Great goal from a great player.
Colwell throws on Joe White, Josh Coley, Jack Sparks. I still think Josh Coley's got something about him.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, I'd be giving him more time.
Apart from a nice arse.
That's simply a positive side. So they got 20 minutes, and you didn't know what was going to happen, really. And then Derby score again, but almost instantly we get one back.
Well, then react.
We react to the second goal, don't
Yeah.
we? It was a hell of a roar when Derby scored.
And that's like, yeah, it was. And I mean, it's one thing saying, oh, we've reacted really well. It's another thing to point out that probably Derby at this point have gone like, well, that's it. That's the end of that, you know? So they understandably sort of switch off a little bit. And then we get one back.
Well, we gave
with
20
plenty of
minutes of
time,
trouble,
actually.
didn't we? Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then after that, I mean, I would have been much more despondent after this match had we just lost 2-0.
Yes.
Had we not, because that gave us at least a reason to be glad to be there.
Yeah.
You know, like it then was kind of like something to get behind. And I was kind of like, it was kind of like not ironic kind of support, because it's kind of like, obviously we were capable of getting something out of the game. We're only one goal behind, but it was kind of like, oh, come on, we can do something here then. I'd kind of written this off. It's like a little bonus kind of, oh, maybe we can get something. And it was fun at the end.
Yeah, it was.
Jack Sparks, I think, really good account of himself. I think he's done well when he's come on. I think he's great in those situations. And I think probably, depending on, you know, who we can bring in the summer and whatnot, I think it's probably worth keeping hold of him.
He's still young, of course.
I wouldn't have him as, I don't think I'd almost never start him. Because I think there's too much in his game, which if you're setting up with a plan to start a match, you don't want. No pace, not particularly good positionally, bit unreliable,
Bit chaotic.
bit chaotic. But when you're behind or you're drawing late on and you need a bit of
Pizzazz.
life,
Yeah.
bit of pizzazz, there's almost no one better, and he's got more end product than some of the starting players.
Well, certainly Caprice.
Caprice, as good as Key end product wise, if you ask me, and more like and acts quicker. So good crossing, good passer of the ball, and incisive passes, and good shoots, good shots. He had after he scored his goal.
Yes.
Which is a system that Colwell likes, which is one wing back coming inside, crossing it to the back post, where the second wing back, the opposing wing back, arrives at the back post.
Yes.
You know, executing the plan that
Mitchell
really
and
well.
Key have done that a lot.
Keeper
recently.
should do a lot better, gets two hands on it, but still, then has another really good effort.
Yeah.
And we know he's got that, and I think he's got almost as good as a shot, much better shot than Josh Key on him. And for those reasons, I'd say keep him on. Impact player.
So it was 2-1, which meant, the fourth defeat in 4. We'll talk about the league and the rest of the season in a minute. Welcome back to the Big Bank Theory podcast. You can get in touch with us via Twitter at BigBankPod or on email bigbankpod@gmail.com. We're on Facebook as well too. So the league table for City now looks like this. We've dropped to 14th. We've got 3 games left. Bristol Rovers and Burton, directly below us, have both got 5 games left. So it's plausible that they would overtake us.
However, as of last night, we are now mathematically safe.
Yes, that's right.
So we are guaranteed League One football again next year.
Well,
Mission accomplished.
I think we're guaranteed 18th as our lowest.
Right.
I think. And then above us, Fleetwood are a point ahead of us, same games, and Shrewsbury are 3 points ahead of us, as are Lincoln with a game less. So we could get our favoured 11th position back. Probably will finish top of the bottom half of the table.
Well, yeah.
But
what we
still-
can expect is, from the remaining matches, quite plausible to think that we'll get 0 points.
Yes. Although Morecambe looks like a game that we could win,
Well,
but they need the
sort
win.
of does, but they're actually on the verge of hauling themselves out of the relegation zone. Their last 3 fixtures of the season is us. It's Charlton first,
Yeah.
then Lincoln, then us.
Yeah.
3 teams with absolutely nothing to play for.
Yeah, they'll fancy it.
Absolute bucket and spades everywhere.
Forest Green are down, of course.
Yeah, they're gone.
See you later. See you later with your Balsa Wood Stadium, Dale Vince. See you later with your wacky sense of style.
I think plans for the old Lollipop Stadium might have to be put on ice for a bit.
Shouldn't you put your ice round your lollipops first? What?
I don't know.
There's a joke there. There's a metaphor there.
Don't. Yeah, I don't know what they. Yeah, that was bad, wasn't it? Poor old Forest Green.
27 points, minus 51 on the goal difference. Minus 51.
Duncan Ferguson, of course, at the helm.
I mean, not really his fault. But Dan, it's bad. They've won 6 games all season. 6. They've scored only 30 goals and they've conceded a whopping 81. 81.
That wouldn't have been very enjoyable. I mean, in another.
Good job no one's there to watch it. Well, we scored 4 at theirs, didn't we? And then, so...
I mean, not like that could have been us, because obviously we were in a better situation than them, probably. They lost loads of players in the summer.
And the manager.
Nightmare all round for them. Yeah. Back into League 2 you go.
Back into League 2. We don't know who's going up or anything like that yet, of course. Leyton Orient are promoted.
Though. Oh, from League 2?
From League 2.
Are they up, yeah?
Yeah, they're up. But yeah, we don't know what's happening with who's leaving League 1.
No.
As in, no one's confirmed. So yeah, there we are. That's the current state of affairs. 3 games left for City. It's Hillsborough and Sheffield Wednesday, Saturday. Then it's Ipswich Town at Portman Road. Then it's Morecambe. So obviously Ipswich and Wednesday are very much pushing for automatic promotion. So
yeah, still a 3-horse race up there, isn't it, with them two? And
I just hope we give a good account of ourselves.
Much. Or Barnsley still in the running? I suppose it could still happen with 3 games to go.
Yeah. I just hope we give a good account of ourselves.
Yeah.
What you don't want, honestly, is we lose the first game in August, and then you can count back and you'd be like, Exeter City haven't won in 8 games, or that kind of thing,
yeah.
Or they've lost the last. Those kind of statistics are unnecessary hangovers from seasons gone by.
Definitely, although I do think that the squad's probably going to look fairly different next year.
Agreed.
So they'll reasonably be able to say, well, nothing to do with me, Gov.
Yes.
Who do we think? We'll come on to kind of, there's a little way to go yet, so we don't want to talk too much about next season.
There's one rumour, though.
But there is a rumour.
Josh Key to Swansea.
Yeah. This has been reported by all the usual people on the internet.
Yeah.
That's, that'll be for, it won't be for any significant, won't be a transfer fee, will it be a tribunal?
Yes, because he's a youth team player, we get compensation.
And because he's a youth team player and he's under 24 or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, so we get some sort of compensation to be decided by Judge Rinder or somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Judge Judy.
No.
Judge, I don't know.
Judge not, lest you
Alan
be judged.
Judge.
Alan Judge.
Onkar Judge.
Yeah, don't judge the judge.
Don't judge the judge, please.
So,
what have we done to the world?
That's a niche reference, if ever I heard one.
Well, if they've seen it, they'll know what that is.
Onkar Judge.
Onkar?
So, Key to go. Why do so many of our players go to Swansea? Our players never go to...
Well, how many have we gone to? We've got 3 to Swansea, haven't we?
Oh, that's more than most
in the
teams.
last
10 years.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot. And
The
Tisdale
Ginger
was
Prince,
always strongly rumoured.
Matt Grimes,
Yeah.
and now maybe Josh Key.
Yeah, maybe. There's other players still out of contract, haven't signed up. Archie Collins.
Yeah, so
Jamal.
the rumour is there again from one of the usual suspects that Collins has been offered a new deal but hasn't signed it. Jamal, there's this rumour that he's going to play in the MLS.
Yeah.
And then, don't know about anyone else. Nombe's got another year, hasn't he?
Yes, but wouldn't surprise me at all if he was looking for a transfer.
Yeah.
We don't know about... Well, we do know that McDonald's only here till the end of the season so far.
Yeah.
But injured. Don't know what that means for us, whether that helps us. Jay Stansfield and Keggs and Harper's loans were only initially to the end of this season.
Yeah, so Harper, the Ruzza,
Yeah,
didn't feature in the squad against Argyle.
yeah. And rumours of him not wearing his club tracksuit.
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, it might have just been he spilt his dinner on it.
Oh, sack him now. He didn't wear his Exeter City Joma clothes. If I was given a choice of having to wear Joma clothes or not,
Yeah.
I would always take not.
You go naked?
I'd rather be naked than wear Joma clothes.
Wow. Good job with changing to Adidas.
Not the kit, but like the other stuff.
Yeah.
If you got like, the option, I don't blame him. Anyway, so he didn't feature in the squad despite coming on against Peterborough
And doing a good
doing
job.
quite well and scoring a goal. So very strange. Don't know what's going on there.
Anyway, he was there last night,
And then last night was in the squad but didn't come on.
but was wearing his kit.
Yeah.
And no one was naked. Someone was naked, but I didn't see them.
I saw Raheem having a pint on the pitch while he's doing his warm-ups at half-time.
No, you didn't.
No, I did not. But you don't know.
So, yeah, that's where we
Could have been
are.
apple juice.
3 more games left. It's been a successful season. I'm going to say it now.
Of course it has. In all sorts of ways, and despite considerable kind of
Upheaval. Yep.
Mostly off-pitch upheaval, but we've managed to ride out, really well, and it's a big credit to the team and to the new manager
And the club.
and to everyone.
Yeah, and when you look at Forest Green...
It's just a bit. You could be forgiven for feeling a little bit kind of despondent about it because of the end,
Yeah.
because of all the losses at the end. But what do you expect?
Well, there have been...
Quite rightly relieved, I suppose, to be like, well, we've done what we needed to do.
And, we build on that, and we're an established League One club again, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, no negativity from me. But it would be good to get something out of one of these last 3 games, if not more.
Yeah, I think probably if
I mean,
we
it's
win against Morecambe,
Yeah.
if we lose the next 2 away games and then win at Morecambe on the last day, that'll probably kind of give everyone a bit of a boost, won't it?
Yeah.
And at least you finish the season on a win. But like I said, they've got a lot to play for. They might even be safe by then. They might be relegated by then. Who knows?
We're encouraged to vote for the Player of the Year.
Yeah, tough one this, isn't it?
Really tricky.
I haven't
What's your
decided.
inclinations?
Well, I don't know. People on popular Exeter City forum X-Web are suggesting that Piers Sweeney be given it, and the kind of more of a kind of Denzel Washington Oscar style. We're giving him it for this, but really it's
Right.
or
We
Leonardo.
should have given it to him last
Should have got
year.
it for training day, but he didn't, so we're just
Yeah.
giving it to him now for, even though this current film isn't as good as that. Or Leonardo DiCaprio got one for The Revenant. Really, was it for The Revenant? But really, we're giving it to him for something else he's done.
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Sweeney, that's a good shout. I mean, I think Blackman's been excellent.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's good, and I like him.
And he did...
he's worth it for that punch alone,
yeah,
in
he's
a way,
worth it
isn't
for that punch alone.
So maybe Blackman. Nombe,
Stansfield,
obviously
Nombe.
been good. Stano. I imagine it will be Stansfield, won't it?
Probably. But in a way...
For the old heartstrings.
Yeah, that's true. But in a way, he's had all the plaudits already. Like,
Yeah.
it won't... His season's already been made. He's done a wonderful thing.
But it's not about kind of sharing out the praise evenly, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. But do you know what I mean? Like, Player of
I'm
the
gonna
Year
vote
for
for Ruzza.
Stansfield, or not Player of the Year for Stansfield. Stansfield still had a very significant season.
Yeah.
Player of the Year for Sweeney, that's a different thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I don't know who else you'd give it to, really.
No.
It'll be one of them. Sweeney or Nombe or Stano, I'd say, probably going to get it.
Yeah, I'd agree.
When's that announced? Oh, at the awards ceremony, which is soon, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not invited. I mean, we are,
like I
as
said,
we've covered before, we are
we
invited to buy a ticket.
Yes.
I'd invite you to give me one.
Invitations work both ways.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that.
But then you've got to sort of do a casino and stuff, haven't you? And like, do you want to do that? And like,
what, like bury someone in the desert?
no.
Oh, we're not talking about films anymore.
Just play roulette or whatever.
I'd have no idea.
Play roulette with Jonathan Grounds.
Do
you want to do that?
That's a Channel 5 series if ever I had one.
Yeah.
No, but I would like to go on a bouncy castle with
Blackjack with Gary Woods.
I would like to go on a bouncy castle with Nombe.
Yeah, have they got bouncy castle there? Have they?
If not,
That
what's the
changes
point?
things. Yeah.
Or that weird. It's also a bouncy castle kind of thing, but you've got a rope attached and you've got to run as far as you can.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I go on that with
Yeah.
Jamal.
Have a go at Splat the Rat with
Gary.
Will Ameson.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Is it? We're thinking
Go
of
on
a
the karaoke
village
with
fate,
Josh
aren't
Kay.
we now?
What?
I'm thinking of a village fate. But it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
like that
we've
at all. It's more
segued.
black tie.
That'd be better. They should do a club village fate.
Well, they do this black tie casino thing every year, and I suppose they want to go for class, don't they? And village fate or county fair kind of theme doesn't really scream class, does it?
I would suggest know your market and know your geographic area. We're much more at home with village fates.
That's very true, yeah. Or county fairs.
Or county fairs.
Get a couple of traction engines in. Get,
Get the players
a
to show off their
prize bull.
pets. I'd like to see the players parading their dogs around West Point.
Yeah, why not? Cats.
Dogs and babies.
And cats.
And cats.
Yeah.
I've never noticed any of the players have cats. As you know, I follow their Instagrams fairly closely.
Really, not seen a single
I
cat.
see a single cat. There's a few weird dogs. Matt
Well, maybe
J
you wouldn't
stand
bother
up.
getting a cat because you don't know how long you're going to be knocking around for, and cats famously don't like moving house.
Yeah,
do they?
go home. You've moved to Barnsley and they've walked back to Exeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
It's probably in the footballer's handbook, isn't it? Don't get a cat.
Don't get a cat. Stick with either animals in cages or,
Yeah.
glass cases. What's that called? Tanks.
Yeah.
I bet there's a load of footballers with what are those weird lizards? Monitor lizards.
I don't reckon there is. They're huge.
They got money.
They've got to live in the garage.
They got
the massive ones.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'd be surprised if any footballer anywhere has got a monitor lizard. Any Komodo dragons out there?
Komodo, yeah.
Anyone
One of
got
them
a-
two.
What are those bearded dragon? No, they can have a bearded dragon. They're small.
I
An
say, hey,
iguana.
Mike, get yourself a monitor lizard.
Yeah.
Come
Well, you
on.
can afford it.
If you can afford it, you drive around in your 4x4 Beamer.
Is there any footballers with kind of exotic pets of any description?
Oh, there definitely is.
Tarantulas.
Chris
it's
Sutton,
sort of like
course,
bit of a
famously got a
luxury.
load of horses, hasn't he?
Has he?
Rescue horses.
Right. Well, a lot of them like horses, don't they? I suppose
Yeah.
because that's just a rich guy thing, and they're all rich guys.
Yeah. Get a monitor lizard. Change the narrative, lads.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when is that? The awards?
Oh, I
thing?
don't know, actually. Is
Yeah.
it not this? Might be this weekend, but we're in... It can't be because we're at Sheffield Wednesday. Maybe it's after the Morecambe game.
No, I think it's like April.
Don't know. Doesn't matter because I'm not going because you haven't got a village fate and you haven't got a monitor lizard in a nice tank.
Well, yeah, you're running the London Marathon, aren't you? On
Oh,
this
yeah, I know.
weekend.
Yeah, I am.
What charity are you doing it for?
No, I'm not.
Just doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Selfish.
That's me. Yeah.
So if you're in the London area, why not try and spot John? I know you don't know what he looks like.
And I'll be wearing all
and-
black, so
and
that won't
there's,
help you either.
How many people in it? 1 million people run the London
I
Marathon?
don't
is it?
know. 50,000, is it?
I
40,000?
think it's 1 million.
1 million people.
30th of April, Sunday.
Oh, it's a Sunday.
Also,
that's a week Sunday.
It's taking place at Winslade Manor.
Winslade Manor.
So it's...
Where's that?
I don't know. That sort of sounds a bit rural, doesn't it? Isn't it usually at the uni?
Well, isn't Winslade Park where isn't that where I've played football there? St Mary play where the Friends Provident is. Isn't
Oh
that,
right.
So
Okay,
it's there,
maybe
maybe.
it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
London and Manchester.
London and Manchester as was.
69 quid for the premium package.
What do you get for that?
Red carpet arrival. You get that in both. Gold package also is which is £39. Both of
Doesn't
them you
work
get the
for
red carpet
podcasters.
arrival. Both of them you get arrival, drinks No, with the platinum you get drinks reception with the players,
Yeah.
allocated sitting for dinner and awards.
Allocated. So you're like, can I sit next to?
No, it's allocated for you.
Yeah.
Choice 3-course menu, street food theme.
Oh.
That's not very Devon, is it?
Nor very classy.
Live entertainment and DJ, raffle and fun casino tables. And with the gold package,
What's better, platinum or gold? Platinum.
it sort of seem the same. Well, no, platinum's better than gold, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think so.
I don't know. Depends. I'm not sure on today's market. In times of economic downturn, gold famously holds its value.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. Yeah.
it seems to be the same.
I don't want to go until you're parading your pets around.
Dress code is lounge suits and cocktail dresses.
the only suit I wear in the lounge is pyjamas.
Is it
Yeah.
a onesie? Ever worn a
Certainly
onesie?
not. I've never worn a onesie.
No.
No, I'll be in the cold, cold ground before I... And if you bury me in a onesie, I'll be livid.
Yeah.
I'll haunt you.
Put that in the will.
Yeah, no onesie for burial, please. I'd rather be buried naked.
I'd quite like to be buried naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Don't need clothes where I'm going.
That's also what people say about the fire under Budley Beach.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. Well, that's all the hot topics covered.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing the photos from the awards too, which
Yeah.
we won't be at, but I look forward to seeing it.
I'm always tempted to go as like try and get in as like a journalist, but I realise it's pushing this podcast way beyond its tangible limits.
Well, it would be in any normal circumstance, but given that, the size of the thing we're covering, I mean, what journalists are there? Well, there's someone from Spotlight,
Devon Live,
Devon Live. I mean, we're more journalists than Devon Live. That's a fact.
Bosh, fact.
Well, it is.
Bank that.
At least we're talking about stuff that's from this area.
Yes.
They'll like run a story, like just some clickbait shit about something, and it's like, this happened in Manchester. What's this got to do with anything? They're talking about Manchester. We're talking about London and Manchester. And if you're from Devon, you know the difference.
Certainly do. Well, maybe we'll get there and then we'll shout out to the players, "Who are you wearing?" And they'll say, "Top man."
Yeah.
And I'll say, "Thanks, I know I am. What are you wearing?"
Who are you wearing? I'm wearing Primani
Yeah.
lounge suit
Yeah.
and Gola trainers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, "Yeah, nice one." Thanks for listening, everyone. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.